Hey guys, welcome back. Let's grab a message. May we? Warrior. Okay. Light attributes: strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Warrior. Strength, skill, discipline, toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Self-sacrifice. Yeah, because there's certain things that the ego can get done that the well, let's see. Is there something that the ego can get done that the non-egoic energy cannot get done? Let's see. Shadow. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Ethical principles. All right. I don't know. This seems like let's see. Whoa, I just went around the world 3 times and back. We have warrior. Self-sacrifice. The ego. What can the ego get done that the non-egoic self cannot get done? Okay, so we can talk about leadership and the ego, when it comes to leadership, can be abused by manipulating and gaining control through inducing fear or, manipulating through some sort of force. And then there's the non-egoic self who controls and demands through respect. People want to be guided because of the respect, not controlled through manipulation. Okay, so we'll start with that. And that's just one small example of what the ego can get done. And it's like they both accomplish control, but one has respect and one has disrespect. No respect for tyrants. Duh. What's the message? I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Strength. Okay. It takes a lot of courage to lead correctly. Well, it takes a lot of courage to recognize how, because if we are a tyrant and we think that the only way we can control is through manipulation and fear, then the weakness lies in the ego, because the ego is only there to survive, to make sure your body survives. And so when the ego doesn't act from a place of compassion or love or any of these light attributes: strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, self-sacrifice. Those that act out of a place of ego instead of out of self-sacrifice, they have um, a blind spot to their weakness because they haven't accessed their strength through a respected form of leading. Okay, so we have warrior and strength. Somebody here is very... Look at the colors are like this. The colors match. I don't know about you guys, but I can't quite tell. But like, there's this, whatever. All right. So we have a lot of strength and courage behind whoever you are. If we're dealing with the light attributes of a warrior, there's lots of discipline here. Somebody who has taken a lot of time to recognize how to drop certain ego energies when it comes to what's necessary to self-sacrifice, to for example, I'm sorry, I can't do for example right this second. It's too much of a trigger. Yeah, let me just maybe please just maybe please get a message for this strong warrior energy. Peacock spirit, let it shine. Oh no. Ooh, I don't like it when I'm forced, not forced, but like when I feel like spirit is like, tell him, tell him, tell him. I don't actually remember what I was going to say because I was really trying to get out of it. We're talking about the courage and the strength of a warrior. Oh, self-sacrifice. Nope, not gonna do it. Sorry. Let it shine. Just know some of us sacrifice. You know, when we... okay. I don't self-sacrifice. It looks sometimes like you're weak and retreating, but really, you're just like, well, actually, I'm just over it, and I don't need to argue, so I'm gonna go this way. It just looks like possibly like a retreating, like you're afraid, so you're gonna back out. But sometimes self-sacrifice, like you can back out where it looks like you're, like I said, like you're weak, but really you just sacrificed trying to like let it shine. Like, we don't have to let it shine when it comes to when we self-sacrifice. It's like it's hard to explain, but like maybe if you walk away from something instead of fighting it out and being the clear victor, somebody could walk away, self-sacrifice what looks to be your position of I don't know. But really, when you self-sacrifice whatever it is, instead of winning an argument and you walk away, that in itself is actually shining brighter, if you ask me. To sacrifice the one energy that wants to be like, see, I told you, and gain the energy of, wow, that was a pretty dope and graceful exit. Left me a little speechless. Like, that's a different way of shining. So I'm only saying this because it says, it's talking about courage and strength over the way somebody fights and defends, and somebody's ability to fight is very inspiring. So I guess that's what I have for you. I don't know. Should we get one of these? It seems like I just want to. Somebody who is disciplined and understands self-sacrificing certain egoic traits in order for, like, it's like for the greater good or the highest. It's like you know what I mean. I don't know why I'm pulling these. Gang, Brotherhood of Shadows, Underworld, Transactions, Violence, and Criminality. Yeah, some of us don't know how to self-sacrifice the ego, and so, I mean, if we want to look at the shadow attributes of a fighter, there's those of us that fight clean and those of us that fight dirty. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. It's just at all costs they're going to win because they don't recognize the feeling of control through respect. Like, we don't want to control people, but like when people want to follow us just because we are an example of a way of life that is of couth and honor and love and all the things, then that's to each their own. Some of us like to feel good about ourselves when we go to bed, and some people don't care. They just want to make sure they got whatever they can get through it, whatever ways they can get it, and like that makes them, they don't know they feel like they don't, because if they knew that there's a better way, they'd probably be doing it. Like, duh, what's the best? You know what I strive for to maintain the most is the joy of life, to maintain the essence of joy. Otherwise, like, the ones that the most power, the ones with all the money, like, it seems like they don't have a certain essence called joy that gets to come along when you do things in the shadow. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope that helped. I love you so much. Until next time.